Hello guys, it's Destiny back on another video, and you're watching the Decimania channel on YouTube. And tonight's the night, guys, Hall of Fame. And then tomorrow night and Sunday have the potential to be two of the greatest nights in wrestling history. With WrestleMania 40, I cannot freaking wait. But first, I gotta get through today and most of tomorrow. So let's try to get through that. Watched the remainder of the CM Punk interview last night, and that's what we're gonna talk about here today. If I mess something up in this, I apologize. There was so much to take in. I'm basically just gonna talk about some of the questions he was asked, the main ones, and I'm gonna give you what he said, and we'll talk about it from there. I don't know how to really start this. I was just gonna talk about this on Wrestle World Wednesday and be done with it, but then I was like, no, I should probably talk about this in depth, like everybody else is doing. But nonetheless, it's Friday, April 5th. I think it's Dominic Mysterio's birthday. That's kind of cool, even though, on screen Dominic's kind of but, happy birthday, Dom. Alright, let's get into this CM Punk interview, but before we do, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. Hit the like button. Hit that comment down below. Share the video. Go check out all my other videos that I have. Okay, so CM Punk was on the MMA Hour interviewed by Ariel Helwani. And he had a lot to say about WWE and AEW. He said some stuff about Vince McMahon, Chris Benoit, which we'll get into in a minute. Okay, so I guess the first main question that he was asked, bear with me, was, how he kind of came back to WWE, what set that in motion. And when did they start talking? Punk says that it was the week of Thanksgiving. That Monday, he said, Nick Khan called him and talked about it. And he said, if we can't get it done, this is Nick Khan. Nick said, if we can't get it done Saturday, it'll be a Royal Rumble. And Punk said, no, I'll do it Saturday. If it's gotta happen, it's gonna happen now. And he of course, we all know, showed up at Survivor Series at the end of the War Games match. He then said that he kind of just was winging it from there. He went back home and they were like, oh, could you come out to Nashville? That's what I noticed about this interview. He didn't really say anything to this effect, but I kind of noticed this about some of the things he was saying in this interview. Do you want to come to Nashville? Where I'm sure 10 years ago would have been like, hey, we need you in Nashville. Can you come out? And it's like, dude, these guys have families and have things that they would like to do. Don't run these people into the ground. I know that they're professional athletes and things like that, but you give them some slack, give them some time off with their families. And I'm glad Triple H is doing that more. I think he's starting to see that. But then they were like, hey, do you want to come to NXT? And it's like, yeah, sure. And went to NXT, which was freaking crazy. And then he talks about, Ariel asks him, well, did you interact with Vince at all? And he's like, I saw Vince at the gym. And he said, he gave me a big hug and said, hey, let's connect after I work out. And then, I don't know if they ever did. And then Ariel was like, so did you connect afterwards? And Punk was like, no, obviously there was some stuff going on that came up. And they got into the Vince stuff. And Ariel's like, well, did you know? Like, did you know that he was going to do that? Are you shocked? And he was like, no. Because, and then he brought up Benoit. Like, he didn't say anything. He didn't say, like, Benoit was malicious or anything, but he was kind of like, I could maybe see that, you know. I could maybe see that he did that. But he told this one really cute story that almost kind of freaking made me cry. He was talking about Chris, and he was like, I was friends with Chris. I looked up to him, but, there was one time where he was in the locker room and Chris ran up to him and he's like, come here. And he took him over to Chris's son, Daniel. And he was putting the tape on his hands and doing the X's. And I was like, that's just freaking adorable. Like, that's sad. That sucks. But no, he was like, no, I'm not shocked that Vince did that. You know. They get into the environment in WWE, and Punk said, I'm not gonna say it's friendlier, but then he was like, screw it, yeah, I'll say it's friendlier. It's more relaxed. And he said, somebody explained this, this to me, that it's kind of because of me that the environment's like that now. I could see that. Also, that, well, we don't have a psycho, perverted billionaire telling you what to do, so that helps to not have that. And I'm sorry, if I missed anything in this, I sincerely apologize. I'm just going off of what I remember and what I heard. He says he has a good relationship with Triple H and a lot of people in WWE now. I guess him and Corey Graves are patched up now too. That's good. I wish him and Cabana were patched up, but I'll get into that later. But he came off, the one thing I noticed in this interview, he came off as very, hold on. Oh crap, I'm still waking up, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, what the frick was I saying? Hold on. I can't remember what I was saying. Frick. Crap, guys, I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. While I think about that, here's, you know, oh, right, since he's made up with a lot of people there, he said, that he is there to help people. And Ariel asked him later, he was like, do you regret the WrestleMania main event? And he's like, no. Not having the WrestleMania main event. But he's like, you know what, there's 2 nights of WrestleMania now. And I'm sure I'll be in one day. I'm sure he'll be in one day. Because, when he comes back, I think it's going to be him in the main event of night 1. Obviously, Rock and Roman is probably going to be night 2, if they do it there. Then we get into the AEW stuff. He just kind of talked about the the last year, kind of. He talks about the Hangman Adam Page promo, and he was like, we had this whole promo mapped out, and he goes out there and says another thing, completely different. And he was like, what the frick, man? And was kind of reprimanded him backstage. Like, why did you say that? What did you. And then he, of course, said during the scrum, like, I applaud standing up for your friends. Supposedly I got your friend fired, that I didn't. And Tony also just let that happen. We'll talk about what he said about Tony in a little bit. But he talked about that. He talked about the Hangman Adam Page workers' rights promo, and then he talked about the scrum. And Ariel was like, do you think there should be scrums? And he's like, no, they're dumb. They're stupid. And I don't know. I kind of agree. I like press conferences, but I don't know. After scrum, I don't know. If you want to do an interview with them, do an interview in the ring. I don't freaking know. But he talked about the Jack Perry incident also. And he was like, the reason I got mad at him was because Tony kind of came up to me, and Tony Schiavone came up to me and he was like, hey, I need your help. Jack's cussing out people backstage. And Punk was like, why do you need me to do, what do you want me to do? And he's like, oh, Jack wants to use real glass, and we keep telling him no. And Punk was like, look, if I handle this, you're not going to like the way I handle it. Same thing he told Tony Khan. And, he went up to Jack and he was like, look, I'm going to tell you very nicely, you can't use glass. You can't use real glass here. You can't use real glass from the rental cars because people drive those. We need to take those back, and if they have glass smashed out of them, we're going to get in trouble. Which is a logical point. That's a good, that's a sensible response. I thought Punk responded to that very well. Should he have maybe choked Jack Perry? We'll talk about that in a minute. But Jack was like, whatever, and he seemed okay with it. And at All In, when it was supposed to be a night of great wrestling, and, he had wrestlers, freaking Bray Wyatt just passed away that week. And it was just like, can you guys just not do this right now? Because, we just lost 2 people in Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. You can't just put this aside for a couple of hours. I don't get it. But, whatever. Anyway, the pre-show, it's Hook and Jungle Boy, or Jack Perry. And he uses glass in the match. And that's where he, of course, said, real glass, cry me a river. And Punk said he was in his locker room watching it, and he went up to Tony, and he was like, are you going to do something about that? He went to Tony first. He didn't handle it himself. He went to Tony first, apparently. And he came off as very honest in this. He came off as very honest. I don't know. Take what you want about CM Punk. I like CM Punk. You guys can think whatever you want. I don't care about what the internet wrestling community says. I don't really care. Why are we tearing each other down for the wrestlers that we like and the thoughts that we have? That's why we're here. We have different opinions. We have, we're supposed to be different, but, in perspective, and, why can't we have it doesn't matter what, and that's what Punk said. It doesn't matter what religion you have or what beliefs you may have, Some people get freaking ridiculed just for what they believe or the color of their skin, and it sucks. It's disgusting. Sorry. But, Punk tells Tony, you need to handle this. Go freaking handle it. And Tony apparently asked him, what do you want me to do? And Punk said, okay, this is the CEO telling me what do you want me to do. And he said, Tony, if you don't want me handling this, because if you don't handle it, I will, and you're not going to like how I handle it. So he went back into the locker room, confronted Jack Perry, and Jack basically provoked him. He was like, well, if you want to do something about it, let's go. And I don't remember if he said he came at him or something, but he said he didn't punch him. He just choked him a little bit. I like the way he said that. He was just like, he just choked him a little bit. And Samoa Joe was there. He's just like, stop, let's go. We got a match. Trying to calm him down. And then after the match, he, I guess, got everybody chicken, and they went to the hotel or whatever and had chicken. So he bought everybody chicken after the show. That was freaking crazy. But I like chicken, depending on how it is. I like fried chicken preferably. But he talks about, look, I don't like drama, but if somebody doesn't do something about it, then, I guess I'll have to step up. I think it's just his mentality, because, I know he's younger than Undertaker, but he came up in that same mentality the Undertaker did, be a locker room leader. And I guess he felt like in his mind he was doing that. People are going to have their opinions. Oh, Punk shouldn't have said what he said about AEW. Okay, he didn't run them into the ground like he did WWE. He just pointed out some of their flaws in a reasonable, professional, honest, seemingly honest manner, which I really respect. And I know people are probably going to hate me for that. But you know what? We all have our opinions. I respect yours if you would choose to disagree with me or anybody else that thinks that, I'm not going to fault you for that in the slightest. But when you come at me with negative comments that are meant to inflict mental harm or whatever, that's when I have to, draw the line. I think you can like what you like. Don't like what you don't like. You not like what you don't like. And respect other people's opinions without, ripping them to shreds online. That's kind of why Punk is not on Twitter. No, that fan page is not his. That's not his actual page on Twitter. I said, I don't need to be on Twitter because I don't, he was even like, look, if you want to believe this crap, believe it, but just don't bombard me with stupid questions. Leave me alone. Ariel, he wasn't directing that at Ariel, but, he was directing that at the people that are the tribalists. I try to come off as a reasonable person on this channel. Yes, I have some unpopular opinions, but, do I stick to them? Most likely. Opinions can change, but, this is a far cry from the Colt Cabana interview and even the scrum, where he was just flipping out, and, the scrum, Tony was sitting next to him, and Ariel asked him about that. He's like, wait, do you feel like you made Tony uncomfortable watching that? And he was like, he should have known better. Like, he knew all this stuff and did nothing about it. Talking about the Colt Cabana situation. And then he asked him, hey, is there any chance that you'll patch up anything with Colt? Patch things up with Colt? And Punk said, probably not. And Ariel asked him, did either of you try to speak to the other one on either side? And Punk said, Colt approached me. This was pre-media scrum. And Colt basically was like, hey, can we talk so it's not awkward? And Punk basically said in so many words, I would never talk to you without a lawyer present. That must have been bad. And it wasn't like, I don't know. Maybe we could get it, if Colt ever does, and be like, okay, fine, whatever, we'll go to court again. I don't know. I would like to at least just get them talking. I'm not friends with either of them, but you know what I mean. Like, I would like to just at least hear reports of, reportedly CM Punk and Colt Cabana are talking again. I like Cabana. I like Punk, and I don't like to see their friendship like this. It sucks. I'm not telling Punk what to do. I'm not telling Colt what to do. But, come on, guys. It's a near decade-old thing that happened. We could easily put this behind us. It's over. That's what I asked on Wednesday. What's different about Colt and Punk's situation as opposed to the Triple H situation? What's different about this? I don't get it. But anyway, he kind of just said, AEW is not a business, and that you have to do stuff that will fill bigger arenas, or you need to accommodate for smaller audiences. He said sometimes it's not about how good the matches are, it's about selling out arenas. He said it's fine to go have good matches and have good stories, but if you don't have the right people, or if you don't have enough people in the buildings, is it really drawing anything? Which I guess is a fair point, And he basically said nobody talked to him. He thought it was done after the scrum. And then when he got injured in WWE, he was like, people are checking on me. They're protecting me from myself because I want to get back in there. And they're like, no, you can't. And, he said that when he went to Collision, he talked about this too. Tony said, we're going to put you on separate shows. And Punk was like, if nobody wants me here, I'll leave. That's just stupid. But I do like that Collision at least gives people more time in the week to wrestle. I do like that aspect of it. I mean, there is a kind of a silver lining there. I mean, yeah, Punk didn't like the idea, but there also is kind of a silver lining that it gives more time for people that either don't have as much TV time, or if they want to advance storylines but don't want to wait until next Wednesday. But it was a good interview. I liked it. It was very good. He didn't bury AEW. He basically wished them well. He said he still has friends there, but he doesn't want, he didn't like his final days there. He said he doesn't regret going to AEW. He said he doesn't regret coming back to professional wrestling, which is good because, Punk is freaking great, and, he helps sell out arenas and things like that. He's very good on the mic. He's good in the ring. Good at commentary also, which he'll be doing this weekend. But all in all, it was a great interview. I thought he came off as very professional. Say what you want about Punk. Now people are going to be all over Edge because people are going to be like, yeah, well, Tony's just sending people out there to cut promos. Look, I don't know what I think about the Edge promo yet. I'll listen to it again, and that'll be something for next week. But, I hope I covered all the important stuff. I think I did. But it sucks that him and Colt aren't friends, still. But, maybe if enough time passes, like Brett and Shawn, maybe somebody will get them in a room together. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Triple H invites them to a show or something and gets them in a room together. I don't freaking know. I would just like them to be friends again, It would be cool. But you know what? I'm not going to tell either man what to do. They're grown men. They can figure this out themselves. Maybe, maybe it'll take somebody getting them together, but I don't know. We'll see, ultimately. But for now, Punk's like, nope, I ain't talking to him without a lawyer. So, that's probably going to be it for this video. And I'll see you guys later tonight with WrestleMania 40 predictions. I'm excited. And then I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame a couple hours later at 10 o'clock. So, might stay up for a good MikeWorks stream. I don't know. I might go to sleep afterwards because we've got a deep clean tomorrow. But, that's it for this interview or that video. It was very good. If I missed anything, I apologize. They also talked, here's something else too. I just remembered. They talked about Punk's UFC stint, and apparently he was going to court with the Colt situation. Or was it the WWE situation? 2015? I think it was the WWE situation. But he said, I couldn't get in shape, right, because I was stressed out because of the court lawsuit and stuff. But anyway, that's going to be it for me for now. I'll see y'all in a little bit, a couple more hours. Got some stuff to do today, but I'll be back later with a couple guests. Hopefully I can get it uploaded the way I'm doing this. Doing it through Zoom, so I don't know how to upload the video from Zoom itself. I don't know anything about that, so if not, I'll come up and do I'll redo it tomorrow maybe before the show, but anyway, I'll see you guys later tonight. Have a good day and enjoy the Hall of Fame and SmackDown tonight. I will not be watching SmackDown tonight. I'll be watching it tomorrow night. Well, tomorrow. But I'll see you guys tonight. Have a good day. Peace.